Call to order the regular school board meeting in Madison Central School District for Monday, August 8th. Mr. Brooks can record the members present and absent, and we are all here, so we do have a quorum. And we will stand and say the pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, our next item on the agenda is to approve the agenda, but I believe we have some additions.
Just a couple additions. 10A, we'll add administrative report. And then under educational adjustment, one came in after the agenda was posted. Lindsay Dieterle goes from an MA 45 to an MA 60 at $58,399. And then there are two typos that we'll correct. Under request to hire, Taylor Coisty for middle school volleyball should be $1,718. And under the educational adjustment for Kelly Olson, that amount should be $52,766, not $360.
All right, anything else that needs to be added or amended? Okay, can I have a motion to approve the agenda with those additions? We'll go with Mr. Avery. Can you have a second?
I'll second.
And Rob. Second. Any discussion on the motion? Okay, all those in favor, please vote by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Agenda is approved. We'll move on to the consent agenda items. If there's anything we'd like to pull out to discuss separately, please let me know that now if you could. These are all items that you should have had time to review on the website, the minutes, and then the bills and personnel actions. Okay, so hearing none to be pulled out, I would accept a motion to go ahead and approve the consent agenda items 7 through 9.
So.
Okay, that would be Jordan. And a second on that, please. Okay, Mr. Avery. Any discussion? No? Can we have an educational moment, just maybe? Here, I should have maybe pulled this out. But could you explain to the new members what like MA plus 30 and MA plus 45 means?
Under the educational adjustment in our negotiated agreement, we have a bachelor's, a BA degree, and we have a BA plus 15, which is a lane change that adjusts the salary X amount. BA 30, master's 15. So for example, Kelly Olson had a BA plus 15 prior years. Now she's got enough credits that she's moved to a BA plus 30. Then the salary changes because that's what it's set up in the agreement to move up as they get different credits. Yep.
And then we will adjust those as they come up.
As they come up through November.
Yes. Yes.
Like the continuing education.
Continuing education, yep, has to be graduate credits, yeah.
Yes.
And the one time there was a BS, that was.
Bachelor's of Science, Bachelor of Arts, same difference. Not the same difference, but we treat them the same. How's that?
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we have a motion on the floor to go ahead and approve the consent agenda items 7 through 9. All those in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, same, or opposed, same sign. Hearing none, motion carries. Okay, let's see here, we got a lot of. Let's go here to number 10, which would be hearing of the public. Do we have anybody that would like to speak to us tonight at this time?
You got time for my coin question then?
Sure, bring it on. Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to 10A, Administrator's Report.
An update on open positions right now. We have the companyist position still open, but there is an interview taking place, I believe, on Thursday. One custodial position we're still looking for. 5th grade band, we're working on possible options to get that filled. I think Mr. Ricky for the fall right now, middle school volleyball yet, that's being worked on. And then we're looking at either the full-time sub again that we had, or possibly get 2 part-time subs on alternating dates. Our sub list is pretty short right now for this coming year. So at one time we thought we maybe weren't going to look at that, filling that, but I think we'll move forward with that. Upcoming dates, new staff in service is August 11th this week. We have in service next week on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the 15th through the 17th. Open house is next week on the 18th and 19th. First day of school is the 23rd, following Tuesday. So activity starting band was July 25th, they got going. Girls tennis, August 1st. Boys golf and football are both today, August 8th. Cross country and volleyball will get going on Thursday, the 11th. And then middle school volleyball and football will start on the 23rd. One last item I'll bring up, road construction. We're in discussion with the city to see what, when, and where we'll have roads. I believe 9th will be open, but it sounds like Washington and 9th may be closed for a while. And then we're finding out the project start from the elementary school going west. Now, it looks like they've already done the exit, the west exit, looks like that's been done as far as a lot of the work, because we gotta make sure we have a way to get our buses out, because they don't back up real well. So, got to call in, and once we get more of that in place, we'll get information out, but we'll have a way to get here. The biggest thing, and I put it in my welcome back, that'll go out and Ron sends a newsletter out, is that parents just got to plan for extra time, and it's going to be slow, I'm sure, at times until we get all the roads open again. So we have to have some patience and just plan accordingly. And no one likes going through road construction, but you got to go through the bad to get to the good. It's just sort of how it works. So when it's done, we'll, just like when Washington was being worked on, it was a pain when it was being worked on. It's great to have it nice and wide and good now. So we'll get information out on that as soon as we have more info, and whether we have to, worst comes to worst, if we have to do bus pickup in the back or something, we'll adjust accordingly. But and even after we talk to them, it's probably going to be bad weather a little bit too, where they're at, some of those things. So, as we know, we will get that information out to parents as well, so that they're aware of where they can and can't travel to get here.
It is an obstacle.
Yep. Like I said, it'll be nice when it's done.
Oh, yeah.
We gotta get through it.
Yeah. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. Mr. Brooks, did you have anything? No. Okay. I'll just add, a few of us attended the SDA, SB, and SASD, I always mess that around, convention in Sioux Falls. Administration, I think it was a good conference, good convention. Learned a lot, I did. So anybody to add on that was in attendance? Anything you'd like to add? Okay.
It's a good, well attended.
Very
this
well,
year.
yes.
Big numbers.
I was disappointed the one keynote couldn't make it due to flights, but
Yeah.
that's just how it is, so.
John Draper, the keynote, he's the one that we had here in January
Right.
last year.
We were fortunate to get him.
Yep.
So, okay, well, we will move on then to item number 11, open enrollment application, Mr. Jorgensen.
It's a high school application, and we would recommend approval of that.
Okay. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
Second by Jordan. Any discussion on that, or questions for Mr. Jorgensen? Okay. Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the open enrollment application, please vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, Mr. Brooks, consideration of the Health Insurance Committee plan rates.
So the document that was proposed is what our committee is recommending for our charges for our plans. You can see the kind of key thing that we said is the premiums, which is that right there. There's for the single, the +1, and the family plans. What the recommendation is $20 increase to the single, $40 to the +1, and $60 to the family. And then with each deductible level increase, there's an additional 5 onto it, so this one's 20, 25, 30, 35 to the individual on there, and it's actually the same, or very similar to the same structure as was proposed last year for that. Committee of, we have 11 active members right now, we had 9 that were able to meet.
So there are the 4 types of plans, right?
Yeah, we have 4 plans that we offer for our staff. A high deductible health plan and 3 co-play type plans.
And the district's contribution went up $20 a month this year as well, which will still cover the single one.
So everybody, okay, so that will cover the single rates, okay.
Single for the
Right.
2 of the plans, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay, can I have a motion to approve the health rates for 2022-23?
My brain's just catching up. I thought it was plus, sorry, not subtract.
Oh.
And I was like, ooh.
Yeah, no kidding, that's a huge increase, yes.
We are a self-insured plan, so our committee makes recommendations to offer for our benefits, and that's why we do have rates that are pretty good. We've been a healthy group for quite a while now.
And then, well, I'll wait till the motion and then I'll, so can I get a motion to approve and then we can discuss further?
So we'll,
Mr. Nelson, a second? Mr. Avery, second. Do you want to maybe, I know we're going to go backwards here a little bit, but can you explain how that health insurance document that you put on the website ties into this? Can you explain that a little bit?
Which one, this document, or which one?
Well, the health insurance under the bill, the finances with that,
Oh, okay.
how, what's it called? Well, it's health insurance, that's what it's called.
We have our monthly payments, so we pay the claims, so whatever claims occurred by our group, then Madison Central issues a check to cover those claims. Well, Mark's our administrator, so they make sure our plan is applied correctly to all of our providers. And then we send a check to them, and they pay all the providers on our behalf. We do carry what's called a reinsurance, up to $60,000, so any claim over $60,000, we'll pay the first $60,000, and then it'll go to our reinsurer to cover the remainder. So we are a self-insured insurance company, just within our own little school, and it's been this way for quite some time.
Very well managed, I'd say. I mean,
We
it's-
seem to be doing well going forward.
Any questions or discussion on that? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor of the motion that's on the floor to approve the health insurance rates, please vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, those opposed, same sign. Hearing none, motion carries. All right, Mr. Brooks, again, we're gonna talk about paying off the 2012 capital outlay certificates.
So we're to the,
Exciting.
yeah, we're to the point. We've been setting aside funds for 7 years now. We've set aside just a little over $2.7 million. We have about 10 years left on these bonds if you just let them go. The principal amount that we'd be paying off is $4.15 million. This would save us over $550,000 in the next 9 years. So once we pay this off, we'll have those funds available for projects and stuff into the future. It's new to some of you, but something we've kind of been working towards for our goals. If we pass a motion, we'll notify the bond company it's 30 to 45 days. They'll set a close date on the close, and then interest gets determined by that date. We have about 2 months of interest that we'll be responsible for. Kind of exciting thing to have debt cleared.
Substantial savings.
Substantial. I mean, this is, I'm gonna say that I give a lot of credit to you, Mr. Brooks, for keeping this on our agenda and focused at our board retreats and keeping it a priority for us.
I bring it up each year, but we have lots of things to allocate towards, so it's nice the board always
Yeah.
just prioritize it. This is our official bond document.
Yeah, if anyone would like to look at
Files
it.
with all the links and everything.
Yeah. So can I have a motion to go ahead and pay off those capital outlay certificates? I'm sorry, who motioned it? Was it you, Mr. Nelson? Okay.
Whoever, you're the boss.
Okay, Mr. Nelson. Can I have a second, please?
No, second.
Okay, Mr. Munwinkle second that. Any further discussion? All right, everybody pat yourselves on the back. All those in favor of the motion on the floor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to 14 and talk about the back-to-school plan, Mr. Jorgensen.
This is still a requirement that we have to have in place, so it was out there posted. Basically, it's, I won't say deleting, but it's changing a lot of areas, just making it that it's, I don't know if I should say less restricted than what we had in the past, but at the committee meeting, there was basically everybody in agreement as we move forward with it, and Jordan's there, I know. Any changes then to the document were either drawn out or lined out, or they were in red if it was a change. One of the big changes is the close contact, and this will pretty much mimic also what the hospital, I believe, has gone to as well now. That we will no longer conduct close contact tracing in the school setting, and we will no longer do that as far as in the home setting either. We have seen though in the home, it's more likely there may be others. We just ask that parents monitor that, and if they see something, they handle it appropriately and go from there. Other than that, you know, the positive is still positive, so that's still 5 days out. That's no different. The color chart with the options again correlate with what the document says, and again, at the committee meeting, put out there for anything and everything else to look at or change, and that's where we ended up. Whereas in the past, we maybe didn't have everyone in total agreement. We had everyone, I believe, in total agreement at this meeting, so. Questions, concerns? And CDC, sounds like they may have some change coming out this week. Of course, not out today, I checked. So if there's something that changes as far as the positive, then we'll look at adjusting as we need to. But basically right now, it's just if you are a positive case and that we know about that, you've informed us, that's just like what you want, 5 days, and then if you're feeling better after 5 days, you're back. So
With a mask.
with the mask right now, if that doesn't change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So right now, that's the only time we're requiring it.
Okay.
Or if we ever got above 5%. And I went back to look at last year's, and elementary wouldn't have been above 5%, high school wouldn't have been above 5%, middle school would have been close for about 1 day. They've been there. Otherwise, and we changed it to 5% last February, wasn't it, Mike? So I had it highlighted in red, even though there wasn't a change, just to make sure that people saw that. And other than that, I haven't heard a word on it, so.
Okay. Good. So let's go ahead and have a motion and we can talk about it. Anybody consider giving a motion to go ahead and approve the back to school plan? Mr. Avery, second.
Second.
Okay. Ms. Meyer? All right, any further discussion or questions for Mr. Jorgensen? Or Jordan, he was there in the committee.
Any concerns about staffing issues related to substitutes and having to go remote or something along those lines?
That's the biggest concern, I think, is because when I look at our sub list right now, it's not very long. So that could be, and I've said that in the past too, to me, that's the thing that could push us to remote learning at some point, is more so probably staff, not students, I don't think.
So is there anything we can do as a school board to help promote some community members to apply? and put their names
Absolutely.
in? I mean, how would they go about doing that?
Or if you wanted to be in the classroom, you know, you guys can get some call.
Madison?
Is that the?
I am now able to go ahead and be a sub.
Oh, I'll do it.
We'd love to have more sign up.
They never hired me, I
for
told them, I kept telling them the
Absolutely.
whole
How
time.
do
Call
they
me.
do that?
Nobody
All they gotta
calls
do
me.
is contact the school, contact
once.
Rhonda, and she'll get them lined up. Yep.
I didn't see that application
Yeah.
completed
Yeah,
from you.
and they can go online and do everything there too. It's on the website.
Okay, so the application is on the website?
On the website, yep.
Okay, and then they would just email it into Rhonda and,
When they go on that website, it'll automatically.
oh, it's fillable, okay, awesome. Well,
We've
that's-
had a few additions, but we need more.
Yes. Okay,
Who were all in the committee?
Let me tell you here. I thought Steve might ask, so I actually brought that sheet.
I think yes, last year.
It's an important question when you're
Um,
dealing with an angry public.
Those are on it. Rhonda Johnson, Beth Graff, Kathy Hansen, Lori Christensen, Dana Gagno, Kendra Leasy, Adam Shaw, Mike Rickey, Paula Kingery, Zach Johnson, Shelley Ballo, Jordan Shu, and then those were all present. Marty Konechny, Ashley Coombs, Lori Schultz, and Cotton Cook were not present.
And Janelle.
And Janelle, did I leave?
You said it.
I was remote.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah. I did leave off.
That's okay.
Gotcha.
We're the same, it's the same committee with the exception of, new board member on there, and then, Mrs. Vallow filling in, Miss Giles used to be on it. I think that's it, and Beth and Kathy have been on it from the hospital in the past as well. So everyone else is still the same committee from a couple years ago.
any other questions or concerns or? All right, well, thank you to the committee for the work on it. I know it's been a lot. All those in favor of the motion to go ahead and approve the 22-23 back-to-school plan, please vote by saying aye.
All right.
Aye.
And those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, we can move on to reviewing the handbooks. Who gets to go first?
I'll be happy to, but there are no changes in the middle school handbook, I guess, so
Okay.
first time I can remember in a while, but I think we've pretty well aligned ourselves with the high school on all the major topics, so I think we're pretty in line.
I don't have any changes either this year. We're gonna stay the course with what we had. We made some major changes a year ago, so, and it worked well.
Okay,
So,
good.
Elementary changes did have a few, but they were all in verbiage or just clarification as to align with changes that have been made, like in their back-to-school plan and things like that.
Okay. And those are available online for everybody to view. Okay, there's no motion needed, so if you have
No.
questions, you can go ahead and ask here. If you have anything that you'd like to,
And they're linked on the website, not just for this meeting, but they'll be linked on the website moving forward too.
And the handbooks are there for a reason, correct?
Correct.
And sometimes when we get approached as school board members, I think it's good to pull out that handbook and ask them if they've read it or our policies that are also online. So I would encourage us all to kind of be familiar with that and encourage our families to please review that before they get on the phone with administration or one of us and be educated about what's going on. Okay, so let's go ahead. Mr. Brooks is going to want us to consider free student meals from August 23rd to September 2nd.
This is something that we did prior to the past years of being free. Couple reasons why we do it. It allows that students, new students and new families kind of come in and out. They don't have to have all the paperwork completed before they get there. We want to have them completed before, but then we don't have students show up who don't have accounts set up for it. And then also with free reduced turning in applications, it gives them a few days after school starts to maybe get the application home and then turn it back in. And so there's not necessarily meal charges, and then they qualify for free a day or two later. Another reason is our food service account balance is higher, and then this gives the money back to those who would be paying into it, a direct benefit to those who don't put money into it. And so it's a recommendation we've had in the past, and thought we'd bring it back again for you guys to consider.
Because we're really limited on ways we can change. We can't change prices a lot. We can't use some of those things. Our hands are tied on a lot of that.
We can't reduce our price, but we can hold it the same and then offer 3 days.
And you can't move that money around in that account to use it for something else. It has to be used for.
Specific towards National School Lunch Program and School Breakfast Program.
Okay. Could I have a motion to go ahead and approve the free lunches during that time period stated?
So moved.
Mr. Nelson, is there a second?
I'll second.
Rob will
Yeah.
second it. Any discussion or questions from anybody on that? Yes, it's okay. I'll try and take. That's all right. You can ask a question.
I was just gonna clarify what those dates were that those would be free.
Sure. August 23rd through September 2nd.
Will they be free for the parents?
No, we can only do it for students. That's it. Just
No.
students, no adults.
Yes,
No, don't.
yes,
If you
every
show up,
year.
I will buy you breakfast and lunch.
Oh, it's someday. No.
You're going to get a call.
Talk big.
I'm
You're
sending
going
you
to
that
get a
link.
call.
No, I'm serious, I'm not. How about the playground?
I was gonna point that out, I'm hiring playground supervisors, and I would love for you to apply for that. And,
But I mean, the parents that go to lunch with their student, can they go out to the playground?
no. It's a school safety issue, honestly. All the adults on the playground have to be background checked to make sure that
But that might solve
the right
it.
people have access to our kids, or don't have access to our kids.
Might be a playground supervisor there.
Once they've gone through background check.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Once they've done this.
Absolutely.
But if you
All
tell them
the
no right
procedure.
away, then they're not gonna get
Well,
detained. That might pass.
okay, so we have a motion. Did we pass the motion?
We have not.
Okay, thank you. We got sidetracked. Okay, all those in favor of the motion on the floor to go ahead and provide free student meals during that period of time, please go ahead and vote by saying aye.
Right.
And those opposed, same sign. Okay, motion carries. All right, well, adjournment of the regular meeting. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Okay, Jordan. Second?
Second.
All right, non-negotiable. Adjourned. Thank you all for coming.